I teach the Friday morning class and Tara teaches our Sunday morning class. We also do lots of special events with restorative and yin classes, so definitely check out our schedule for some of those amazing things. So we're going to move into our centering. So I'm going to invite you to come lying on your back. You can have with you a blanket, as I have here. You can have a bolster or a block. These are all tools that can be utilized as part of your practice today. So I'm just going to bring all of my tools over here so they're easily accessible as I move through my practice. So we're going to start in Shavasana just so we can get centered into our breath. So come onto your back and let your arms come out by your side. Let your body just adjust and move so that you can find a nice, comfortable position to lie here. Close your eyes down, take a deep breath in, and just sigh it out. Inhale, and sigh it out. And one more time, inhale, and sigh it out. Just take a few moments here to scan the body, moving from the crown of the head towards the tips of the fingers and toes. And if there's any place that you're holding that you feel like you need to adjust, just make those adjustments so you can fully surrender the body to the mat. Once you find yourself down to the tips of the fingers and toes, let's shift the attention to the mind, witnessing and observing the mind. Just allowing yourself to acknowledge any thought forms that might be rising, but releasing any attachment to what you're seeing. And then allow your breath gently to begin to surface its awareness to you. Maybe take a deep breath in and sigh it out with an ah. Just let your body become heavy. Let bring yourself into this present moment. Be here now. As we practice Yin Yoga, the shapes that we take are held for longer periods of time, and so we will be going within and allowing our bones to become heavy and our body to surrender in its own perfect and divine time. So as we settle into accepting that this is the practice that we're moving into, we take this time at the beginning of the practice to kind of settle into that same rhythm, that same awareness. Taking 2 more breaths here before we move into our first shape. And on the next inhale, just gently begin to bring in that yang movement, that animating of the arms, the legs, the feet, the toes, just letting that energy that's asking to be moved through the body be moved through the body. And then very gently and intentionally draw our knees into our chest and just give them a little hug, make some adjustments so that you feel like you're really settling onto the back body. So we move into our first shape. It's going to be figure 4, and figure 4 is a bilateral posture. So as we experience the yin practice today, we're going to hold for 3 to 4 minutes per shape, and then we're going to take what's called a rebound. And bilateral shapes, we hold each of them for 3 minutes. So we're going to begin by bringing the left foot down to the mat, letting the right ankle rest on the left thigh, finding this figure 4 position so that the right knee opens out away from the body and the lower leg is parallel to our chest. Then on the inhale, you're going to draw that left knee in and just wrap the arms around the legs. So we're going to begin here, settling and surrendering the body here for time. Taking a deep breath in and exhale. I invite you, once you find your shape, to just close your eyes down and surrender your body into the shape. Now, if you find that clasping your hands on the shin or the hamstring is not accessible, and you can use a towel, you can use a blanket, you could even place a block or a bolster underneath your foot just to hold the legs here without using the hands. So you're just going to find your shape, exactly what feels right for you. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. We're going to stay here and hold the shape for 2 more minutes. So let your eyes close down. Let your body gently surrender itself. The breath here is passive. So we've moved from action of setting up the shape into allowing yourself to settle into the shape, and now we're moving into releasing. So as we close our eyes and just release ourselves from the need to shift, change, or move the shape, we just begin to surrender. Allowing yourself to be. Using the breath to allow any energy that's feeling stuck in the body to shift or move. Moving into the last minute of this shape. Ask yourself, can I surrender more? Is there any place that I'm holding? And when you're asking yourself these questions, it's not just about, am I holding physically? It's, am I holding mentally? Am I holding emotionally? Am I not allowing myself to surrender in other ways as well? And the Yin practices allow you to really deepen that state of release beyond just the physical body. Take a deep breath in here. And on the exhale, you're going to release your hands and slowly, as slow as molasses almost, just let that left foot return to the earth. Yin is pause. Yin is gentle. Yin is slow. So when we're moving out of the shapes into the shapes, we want to move with intention, especially out of the shapes, because we've held a shape for time, which means that the body might have some discomforts. So then you're going to extend your legs, bring your arms back out to your side, and we're going to move into what we call the rebound. So let your body become heavy here. Close your eyes, maybe take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And just let the body pause here for a few moments. Let what you just experienced in the shape on this right hip and leg integrate. Become one with your body. Maybe notice sensations that are different from the left leg compared to the right. As you will have sensations in both legs, just because we were animating them in a different way, it will be different on each side. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, just stretch and move the body in any way it's asking you to. This is where we bring the yang in. So we're just going to stretch the body out and just allow ourselves to transition back to the beginning for our next expression of figure 4 on the opposite side. So we started with the knees into the chest the last time, so let's just hug them in for a moment, maybe rock that body from side to side again, and then come through center, releasing right foot to the mat. Left ankle finds its way onto the right leg. Then on the inhale, we'll lift the right knee in and allow the hands to come to the hamstrings or the shin of the right leg. And again, if you find that this is not feeling accessible for you to hold the leg without gripping in the shoulders and the neck, you want your upper body to be relaxed. So you can always take a block or a bolster, as I said before, and place it underneath this right foot just to support the foot, and then you can just release your arms. And if the body surrenders more, then you can bring it a little deeper in. So like for me right now, I have a pretty intense sensation in the left hip that I didn't have on the right. And so I'm not able to hold onto the shin at this moment right out the gate. I'm having to let the body gently find its way without forcing it. So we're moving into 2 more minutes here in the shape. So you can just close the eyes down. Take your awareness into observing how you're sensing and feeling the shape. And again, if the body surrenders more and releases more, then you can go a little deeper. So like I just was able to shift my hands to my shin now. But the important thing with yin is that when you are in shape, we want to keep our movements to minimum or none, because we want to allow the internal movements that are occurring through the holding of the shape to be what transitions the body. Take a deep breath in here, side out. Just letting yourself become heavy, letting those bones sink the legs towards the earth with gravity. So we're not forcing it, we're just allowing the body to let go in its own time. Using the breath if needed to help shift any energy that's feeling stuck, that's feeling resistant. Just let go gently. Inhale here. On the exhale, you're going to release that right foot to the mat. Again, as slow as you can. Left foot to the mat, taking an intentional transition. Keeping our movements to a minimum. Let's extend those legs, close the eyes, take a deep breath in, and sigh it out. Pausing here for a rebound. Again, become the witness. Go within. How are you experiencing this moment of the practice? How is it communicating its messages to you? Inhale here. Exhale, sigh it out. Gently, let's draw those knees into the chest, moving into that yang movement again, rocking, rolling, whatever you need to do. Ultimately, finding your way up to a seat. So however that feels right for you today, just allow yourself to transition up. And then we're going to move into our next shape. So for this shape, you can utilize your tools. Come into what's called shoelace. So with the left leg forward, we're going to take the right leg, place it over the top of the left, and then allow the knees to begin to stack on top of one another. Now, if this is really not feeling accessible to you, leave that bottom leg extended in front of you. This way you can still access the hip opening in the right hip without finding yourself struggling the whole time you're there. So in shoelace, you can use your block or your bolster to find the fold. So I like to take the bolster here and put it on the side. Reach my arms forward and let my body just begin to hang over the legs. So we're going to take a deep breath in here, and on the exhale, sigh it out. Folding forward, maybe allowing the chin to draw in towards the chest. If you have more flexibility, you can let your forehead rest on that bolster even. And for even more flexibility, you can use your block, which is going to let you come all the way down. I am not there today. So I'm going to stick with the bolster. So we're in our time already. So just allow yourself to fold and surrender the body. Taking a deep breath in and sigh it out. Holding here now for 2 more minutes. Just let your body feel heavy. Let yourself surrender to the shape. Focus your attention and awareness on experiencing a release in the left hip, maybe the low back, along the IT band, the outer hamstrings. You might even feel sensation into your knee. If you're feeling that, you might want to just allow yourself to make any adjustments so that it comes with a little more ease. Sensation is not a bad thing in yin. It just means that the body is transitioning, it's opening. It's allowing that fascial tissue that's wrapped around our nerves to soften. Moving into this last minute of our shape. Sigh out with the breath. Any place you're resisting, you're holding, Just allow yourself to surrender. If you have a lot of sensation, be mindful of that. You don't have to go to the point that you're feeling so much discomfort that you can't breathe. So you want to find that space where you can truly allow yourself the opportunity to surrender without forcing it. I'm going to invite you here to take a deep breath in, sigh it out. And then on the inhale, slowly, slowly, slowly lift the heart up. You're going to set your tools to the side so that your mat is free. And we're going to allow those legs to come gently, slowly extended on the mat as we come lying face down into our next rebound shape of alligator. So just let the legs come out. Let the hands stack one on top of the other. Forehead's going to rest on the back of the hands, and just close the eyes down. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Just allowing yourself to recognize sensations, what you might be experiencing here in this shape. Letting go of any attachments to judging it, to placing a specific perspective upon it. Just be the witness to it. And then on the next inhale, let's slide those hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up and just maybe move through some cat-cows, through some hip rolls, whatever it is that feels like your body is calling for, make that movement. And if you're moving in a circle, move in the opposite direction too. And then come through center. We're going to come back to our bilateral shape. So we're going to move to the other side this time. So again, we're going to keep the right leg long this time. Left leg comes over top. And each side is different. So you may find that on this other side, you might have more access. So using a different tool might be where you go today. We're going to fold forward, close the eyes, and surrender the heart towards the legs. Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Holding the shape for time. Surrendering the body, letting go a little more with each exhale. Remembering to allow the body to surrender in its own time. There's no force. Bringing your attention and awareness to shape you might be experiencing, or a sensation you might be experiencing in the shape. Being gentle with the experience that you're having. Letting go of your need for it to be something different. Just simply be where you are. I know for me, on this side, the shape is different, just like it was for figure 4. So it's just about allowing yourself to be wherever you are today. Holding here and breathing. Using the breath to release any resistance. Allowing yourself to let go a little bit more. Check in with the low back. Check in with the left hip, and just allow yourself to recognize where you're experiencing sensation. This is where the body is activating its healing. On this side, I find that I can go a little deeper. So, because my body's surrendering more, I'm going to just allow myself to go into the block. One more minute here in this shape. So just allow yourself to surrender a little bit more, let go a little bit more, observe any places where you could let go more. Taking just a few more moments here. Inhale and exhale. On the next inhale, slide the hands back towards you, and then allow the body to come up nice and slow. Take your time. Again, we're going to set our tools off to the side for just this next moment as we move into our rebound, slowly transitioning back to our alligator position. So one foot comes out, one leg comes out, and then transition to lying face down. As we come into our alligator pose, again, stacking hands one on top of the other, resting forehead in the backs of the hands, and just allow the body to surrender. One more breath here. And then on the inhale, slide the hands underneath the shoulders, moving up into tabletop or even a downward dog. It may feel like really intuitive for your body right now to have some other shapes here. So just allow whatever yang movement your body's calling for to be drawn through. And then let's find ourselves back onto our hands and knees. I'm going to invite you to grab either a bolster or a blanket that you can roll up and use. We're going to move into a supported child's pose. So we're going to take the big toes together, knees wide. The body's going to come resting over the bolster. If it feels okay for you, you can always go all the way down onto the mat. You could even use your block and just rest your forehead on the edge of a block. So I'm just going to invite you to play and find what's going to feel right for you. And then once you found it, close the eyes down and surrender. Surrender to the shape. Inhale and sigh it out. Holding here for time. Close the eyes. Let the heart just sink towards the earth or the bolster. The hips be heavy towards the heels. Let the breath be a gentle, automatic breathing. Unless you feel you need to just sigh something out. Otherwise, we're just going to rest here in shape for time. Go within. Feel the body heavy towards the earth. Feel yourself in the state of receiving. Go more, surrender more. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out. On the next inhale, lift the body up off the bolster. You can place the bolster to the side. We're going to gently transition back to our alligator position one more time before we move into our final shape. Finding that space for the rebound. Just let the body relax. Focus your attention on the sensations you might be experiencing. The back of the legs, the low back, the hips, the heart. Just be present with it here. Inhale here. On the exhale, we're going to begin to move into our yang movement here. Just moving up and back, stretching out the body in any way that feels right for you. And then I'm going to invite you to, if you grab a blanket, we're just going to roll it so that it creates this round bolster-like position. And then lie it on your mat long ways here. You can keep your bolster nearby in case you need it for this shape. So I really like to use just a blanket for this expression of supported bound angle in a yin shape, because it's not as deep of an opening as a big bolster, but you're still getting this heart open. So you can rest your spine from your hips all the way up so that your head is resting on that blanket. Now you can either stay here or you can lie directly on the mat. The soles of the feet are going to come together. The knees are going to open out wide. Now, if this is just really not comfortable for you, another option here is to take this bolster, slide it underneath the knees. You can do this with a blanket as well, and just let the feet come together, knees out. So there's many different options that you could experience here, using a blanket, using towels. Just find what's going to work right for you. If you have two blocks, you can place the blocks underneath your knees. Whatever is going to work for you in the shape. So once you've found your shape, take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Inhale. And sigh it out. One more time. Close the eyes down here. And sigh it out. And just let your body become heavy. Let your whole front body be open. Let the shoulders sink towards the earth, opening that heart a little more. Knees sinks towards the earth, opening the legs and the hips a little bit more. Just fully surrendering yourself to the shape. Using that breath to let go, to surrender, to allow yourself to make any transitions you might need to let go more. Final shape, our final minute before we move into final resting. Just ask your body, can I surrender more? Physically, mentally, emotionally? Can I surrender to resistance, to listening to my intuition?